Ever feel like those 90-minute executive meetings could be, well, a lot more productive?
Oh, absolutely. It's a common struggle.
Right. We're diving deep into that today, exploring ways to make those sessions really count. We've been digging into project management for project managers by Orlando Casabon.
Great book.
It is. And our mission, so to speak, is to figure out the best way to structure those 90 minutes to get real results. Not just a lot of talk, but actual decisions and action.
It's amazing how often the meeting's topic is spot on, but the execution, the actual flow of the meeting, just falls short.
Yeah, totally. And I think what's interesting is that it often boils down to how we manage time in the meeting, especially when you've got executives in the room.
Oh, for sure. Time is their most valuable asset.
Exactly. So if you only have 90 minutes, how do you slice up that time to make the absolute most of it? I mean, should you have a long intro to set the stage, or maybe jump right into the main discussion and leave lots of time for wrapping things up?
There are so many different approaches, and it can get overwhelming.
It really can.
But if you look at how people actually process information, some of those models just don't quite work. If you only leave 10 minutes at the end to try and summarize a really complex 65-minute discussion, you're probably going to miss some crucial details.
Yeah, you're not going to get those clear action steps, are you?
Exactly. It'd be like cramming for a test right before the bell rings. You're not really absorbing the information.
Right. You just need enough time to really process everything and make sure everyone walks away on the same page.
And on the other hand, if the introduction drags on too long, you risk losing people's attention. You kind of drain the energy out of the room before you even get to the important stuff.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So it seems like you need just enough time to get everyone on the same page at the beginning, then a solid chunk of time for the meat of the discussion, and then enough time at the end to land the plane, so to speak.
Yeah, to make sure everyone knows what the next steps are.
Okay, so what's the magic formula then? How do we structure that 90 minutes for peak effectiveness?
The model that seems to work best is this. You dedicate about 10 minutes for introductions, 65 minutes for that core discussion, and then 15 minutes at the end for closure. And what I really like about this framework is that it's kind of like the natural rhythm of a good conversation.
I see what you mean. So you're not rushing through the intro, but you're not letting it drag on either. You're getting down to business pretty quickly.
Right. And then that big chunk of time in the middle, that's where the real magic happens. That's where you have enough space to really dive into the issues, hear different perspectives, and work through those tough decisions.
It gives people time to actually think and process,
Mm-hmm.
right? Not just feel like they have to fire off the first thought that comes to mind.
Exactly. And then that 15 minutes at the end, that's crucial for summarizing the key takeaways, clarifying who's responsible for what, and making sure everyone leaves the room knowing exactly what needs to happen next.
So it's not just about talking. It's about walking out of that meeting with a plan.
Precisely. You're translating all that discussion into real, tangible outcomes.
I love it. It's so simple, but it makes so much sense. So for those 90-minute executive meetings, remember, 10 minutes for intros, 65 minutes for the main discussion, and 15 minutes to wrap things up. That seems to be the golden ticket to making those sessions truly productive.
And this actually brings up a really interesting question. Could we apply this kind of thinking to all of our meetings? I mean, regardless of how long they are.
Oh, that's such a good point. I bet we could. If we were really intentional about how we structured every meeting, even those short ones, we could probably get so much more done.
Right. It's all about making the most of that time together.
Absolutely. And for anyone listening who wants to learn more about running effective meetings, we highly recommend checking out Project Management for Project Managers by Orlando Casabon. It's a fantastic resource.
It really is.
Thanks for listening, everyone.